तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप पदामह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितां सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजन सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादा सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितं हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्ते प्राप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुपते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे। We remember the pranam mantra of Srila Haridāsa Ṭhākura. How many of you remember the pranam mantra of Srila Haridāsa Ṭhākura? We recite every day. When we went to Puri, when we went to both places, the Bhajan Kutir and the Samadhi Sthal of Srila Haridāsa Ṭhākura, we memorized that verse. Namami Haridāsam tam Chaitanyam tam tayat prabhum samastitam api yanmurti swankena nathya. This is from Antalila, Bhajan Chaitamrit, Antalila. I think it is chapter 10 or 11 and the first verse. Anyway, I will take today from Chaitanya Bhagavat. Many days I was thinking of reading this section, but I didn't get the opportunity. Still seemed very difficult, but whatever time we have, we will discuss the glories of Srila Haridāsa Ṭhākura from Chaitanya Bhagavat. This is in the Ādi-khaṇḍa, chapter 16. Chapter 16 and verse 16 also. Hena kāle tathāya aila haridasa śuddha-viṣnu-bhakti yāṅ'ra vigrahe prakāśa. At that time, Haridāsa Ṭhākura arrived in Navadvīpa. This is when he arrived from Benapole. He came to the place near Shantipur. You remember last time we visited? What was the name of the place? Manoram Prabhu? Where did we visit?
The place called Fulia.
Thank you. Fulia, near Shantipur. And from Shantipur, he came to Navadvīpa. At that time, Haridāsa Ṭhākura arrived in Navadvīpa. He was the personification of pure devotion to Lord Viṣṇu. Śuddha-viṣnu-bhakti yāṅ'ra vigrahe prakāśa. Vigraha means the personification or the embodiment. What was the prakāśa? What was the illumination from the personification of Haridāsa Ṭhākura? It was śuddha-viṣnu-bhakti. When the pure devotees were lamenting the absence of pure devotional service throughout the entire country, at that time, by the will of Krishna, Sri Haridāsa Ṭhākura arrived in Sri Navadvīpa, Mayapur. Sri Haridāsa Ṭhākura was not a preacher of pseudo-devotional service. He was always engaged in the unalloyed execution of pure devotional service, which is without any ulterior motives, which is free from speculation of the impersonal Brahman, and which is devoid of the desire for enjoying material happiness. Anya vilashita shunni. Ebe shune Haridāsa Ṭhākurera katha, yāṅ'ra shravana Krishna paive sarvatha. So Vrindavan Das Thakur is bringing our attention and he's saying, my dear readers, all of us, please hear the topics of Srila Haridāsa Ṭhākura. For by hearing the narration, one certainly attains Krishna. Yāṅ'ra Shravane Krishna, Paibe Sarvata. And he's giving this blessing that whoever hears the glories of Srila Haridāsa Ṭhākura, and what to speak of hearing the glories of Srila Haridāsa Ṭhākura on his Tirobhav Utsav. Budana Grame Te Avatirna Haridāsa Se Bhagye Se Sabha Deshe Kirtane Prakāśa. Haridāsa Ṭhākura appeared in the village of Budan. This is the place where he appeared. And as a result, that province is filled with Kirtan even today. Haridāsa Ṭhākura is an eternally perfect associate of the Lord. He appeared in a Mohammedan family in the village of Budan, within the district of Jaisor. Jaisor is very, very important district. Many Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associates appeared here. Due to his mercy, many persons in the district of Jaisor, this is now in Bangladesh now. Jaisor is East Bengal, which is now part of Bangladesh. Due to his mercy, many persons in the district of Jaisor obtained piety and became faithful to the chanting of Krishna's holy name. Katadine thakiya aila ganga tire asiya rahila fuliya Santipure. After residing there for some time, he came to the bank of Ganges at Fulia, near Shantipur. Fulia is a remote village near Shantipur. Thakur Haridāsa lived for some time in both Fulia and Shantipur, both of which are situated on the bank of the Ganges. Paya tahana sange acharya gosai hunkar karena anandera antanai. Upon obtaining Haridāsa association, Advaita Acharya rode in unlimited ecstasy. Hunkar karena anandera antanai. Due to unlimited ecstasy, he rode thunderously, loudly. After having received the association of Thakur Haridāsa, Sri Advaita Prabhu felt great happiness and often expressed an outburst of this joy. Haridāsa Ṭhākura Advaita Deva Sange Bhashena Govinda Rasa Samudra Tarange. Similarly, in the association of Advaita Prabhu, Haridāsa Ṭhākura floated in the waves of the ocean of Krishna consciousness. By the influence of Sri Advaita Prabhu's association, Haridāsa Ṭhākura also floated in the ocean of the transcendental mellows of Krishna consciousness. Many people think that since Haridāsa Ṭhākura was busy in only chanting the holy names, he did not enter into relishing the transcendental mellows in relationship with Govinda. Such belief is of the Prakrit Sahajiyas. Prakrit Sahajiyas means those who are Prakrit, those who are material, and those who are showing off as devotees. They are actually not so. Sahaji is most erroneous because the holy names of Krishna are the bestowers of all spiritual benedictions. What is the verse? Shreya Keriv Chandrika Vitarana Vidya Vadhu Jivanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam Purna Muta Swadam. And non-different from Krishna, the embodiment of all transcendental mellows. Simply by chanting the holy names of Krishna, one relishes the transcendental mellows related with Krishna. There is no possibility of relishing the transcendental mellows related with Krishna by any other process. Nam, Roop, Gun, then Lila. Otherwise, it is not possible. The progression is through the chanting only. It begins with chanting. Then one develops attraction for Krishna's form, Nama Roop. Then one is able to hear the glories, Guna. Then his Lila, his pastimes. So one cannot enter into the pastimes directly unless and until he has purified himself by chanting. There is no possibility of relishing the transcendental mellows related with Krishna by any other process. Thakur Haridāsa was actual knower of the transcendental mellows related with Krishna, and he is a principal teacher for understanding Rasa Shastras, or literatures filled with transcendental mellows related with Krishna. Due to committing offenses against the holy names of the Lord, the sentimental Prakrit Sahajya Sampradayas become bewildered with material enjoyment and thus have no information regarding the transcendental mellows related with the holy names. Nirvadi Haridasa Ganga Tire Tire Ramirna Ka Toki Krishna Boli Uchchasware. Haridas would continually wander on the banks of the Ganges. Ganga Tire Tire. That means he would wander around the banks of the Ganges and he would loudly chant Uchchasware, loudly chanting the names of Krishna. Krishna Boli Uchchasware. Regarding the situation of Haridāsa Ṭhākura, it is stated in the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, Purva 3.11. Shantir avyart kalatvam viraktir man shunyata ashabandha samutkantha namagane sadaruchi asaktistad gunakhyane प्रीतिस्तद वसति स्थले इति अद्यो अनुभावास्यु जाता भावानुकरे जने. Very beautiful words. The shantis, when comes to experience complete peace and bliss when one is avyat kalatvam, when he does not waste even a moment, he is engaged fully in Krishna consciousness. What is the result of being fully Krishna conscious? Virakti is completely renounced and detached from everything material. And he is even detached from manashunyata. He has no desire for any name, fame, manashunyata. And he is ashabandha. He is always hopeful of Krishna's mercy. And his samutkantha, his eagerness is very condensed. Where is the eagerness? Namagane sadaruchi. That is the level of Srila Haridāsa. Is namagane sadaruchi. When the seed of aesthetic emotion for Krishna fructifies, the following 9 symptoms manifest in one's behavior. Forgiveness, concern that time should not be wasted. Detachment, absence of false prestige, hope. Eagerness, a taste for chanting the holy names of the Lord, and attachment to descriptions of the transcendental qualities. Asakti tad guna akhyani. Akhyan means speech. And what is the asakti? Asakti means attachment or attraction. Tad guna akhyani. Hearing the glories, akhyan of the glories of the Supreme Lord. Description of the transcendental qualities of the Lord. And priti tad vasati sthale. He has great longing in his heart to reside in the place of Krishna's pastime. And affection for those places where Lord resides. That is a temple or a holy place like Vrindavana. Iti adyo anubhavasyu. These are the all called anubhavas, subordinate signs of ecstatic emotion. They are visible in a person in whose heart the seed of love of God has begun to fructify. Jata bhava ankure jana. Ankur means the seed. The seed has fructified, it has started to manifest. Where the seed of love of God has begun to fructify. Also in Srimad Bhagavatam 11 to 40, Kavi, one of the 9 Yogendras, says to Nimi, the king of Videhi, as follows. Evam vrata swapriya nama kirtaya jatanurago drita chitta uchchaye asati yatho rodati rauti gayati unmadman nityati lok bhayaya. The person who is manifested by the symptom of love, what is his response or activity? By chanting the holy name of the Supreme Lord, one comes to a stage of love of God. Then the devotee is fixed in his vow as an eternal servant of the Lord. Then he gradually becomes very much attached to a particular name and form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As his heart melts, Jata Anurago Dhruta Chitta Uchay. As his heart melts with ecstatic love, he laughs, Hasati, very loudly, or Atho Roditi, or cries, or Rauti, he shouts, or Gayati is sometimes he sings, and Unmadvan Nityanti, and he dances like a madman. For he is indifferent to public opinion. Loka Bhaya, Lok Bhaya. This is the purport applies to verse 22 to 32. This is the symptom of Srila Haridāsa Ṭhākura. This is the spiritual aesthetic position of Srila Haridāsa Ṭhākura. Very nicely explained here. Vishaya Sukheta Viratira Agraganya Krishna Nama Paripurna Shivadana Dhanya. Haridas was most renounced. Vishaya Sukheta Viraktera Agraganya. Agraganya means the foremost, with the front line. Where he was front line? In Viraktir. Which kind of Viraktir? Vishaya Sukhete. Haridas was most renounced in the matter of material enjoyment. And his mouth was always beautified with the chanting of Lord Krishna's name. Krishna Name Paripurna Shri Vadana Dhanya. The tongue of Srila Haridāsa Ṭhākura was always engaged in chanting the holy names of Krishna. His tongue, which constantly chanted the names of Krishna, was extraordinarily attractive. Since he was completely indifferent to material enjoyment, detachment for all such enjoyment awakened in him. The holy names of Krishna never dance on the tongue of those who are material enjoyers. Very important. Very, very important principle. Please note it. Why we are struggling to chant more or even complete our prescribed rhymes. The holy name of Krishna never dances on the tongue of those who are material enjoyers. Those who are busy enjoying the six mundane rasas and whose hearts are always disturbed with desires and greed for material happiness never develop any taste for chanting the holy names of the Lord. All this commentary is by whom? Who has given this commentary? Whose commentary are we reading? Yes? Darshan Prabhu?
प्रभु जी शिला भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर जी.
Yes. So Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's commentary. We are reading Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's commentary. So Maharaj is diagnosing what is the reason that why we are not having the taste for chanting. Those who are busy enjoying the six mundane rasas and whose hearts are always disturbed with desires for greed or material happiness never develop any taste for chanting the holy names of the Lord. The pseudo-renunciates who are aloof from the chanting of the names of Krishna are also indifferent to chanting like the material enjoyers. Thakur Haridas was completely detached from the enjoying material happiness and thus remained on the topmost platform. Shaneka Govindama Nahi Kavirakti Bhakti Rase Anukshane Koe Nana Murti. Shaneka Govindanam Nahi Kavirakti. He never gave up chanting of the holy name, not even for a moment. He did not give up the chanting of the holy names of Govinda for even a moment, for even a shana. And as a result, he was constantly manifesting various ecstatic symptoms. Bhakti Rase Anukshana. Hoy Nana Murti. He had various ecstatic experiences and he was exhibiting and manifesting those symptoms. Thakur Haridas was never in a way indifferent to chanting the names of Govinda. He was constantly immersed in the transcendental mellows related to Krishna. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridavata. Namasyantascha mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasya. 9.40. Kahano karena nitya apana apani. Kahano karena mata sima praedvani. Sometimes he danced alone. Nitya apana apani. Very beautiful. Alone. And sometimes he rode like a mad lion. Mata simha prayadvani. Kaha khano va uccha sware karena rodana. Atta atta maha hasya hasena kaha khana. Sometimes he cried loudly. Uccha sware karena rodana. And sometimes he laughed loudly. Maha hasya. We have heard hasya. But Haridāsa Ṭhākura did maha hasya. He laughed loudly. Kaha khano garjena ati hunkar kariya. Kaha khano murchita hoye hakena padiya. Sometimes he roared loudly and sometimes he fell to the ground unconscious. Murchita hoye. Shane alaukik shabda bale nada kiya. Shane tai vyakhane na uttama kariya. Sometimes he would utter some unnatural sound, for which he would later give some profound meaning. Ashrupata Roma Harsha Hasya Murcha Gharma Krishna Bhakti Vikarera Yada Che Marma. He manifested all the different ecstatic symptoms like crying, hair standing on end, Ashrupat, Roma Harsha, Hasya, laughing, Murcha, losing consciousness, and Dharma, perspiring. The phrase Krishna Bhakti Vikara indicates the following 8 transformations of aesthetic loves. Stambha, being stunned, Sweda is perspiring, Romancha, hair standing on the end, Swarabheda, choking, unable to speak. Vepathu or Kampa is trembling. Vepatuscha sharire mein romaharshascha jayate kandivam sansate hastat tak cheva paridaya. Who are showing all these symptoms? बोलो यार, ये तो पता होना चाहिए, सबको पता होना चाहिए. Famous verse. Only Ramya will speak. Huh? Others are completely cut off. Bolo, Ganesh, which verse is this? The word is already 9.
Prabhuji, I don't know, Prabhuji.
You really don't know. This is the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where Arjuna is showing all these symptoms. Vepatuscha sharire me romaharshascha jayate kandivam. I said kandivam. Sansate hastat chatteva paridayate. But he is exhibiting all this system out of love. What is the reason? Pradeep, what is the reason Arjuna is exhibiting all the symptoms?
Because of attachment.
Huh?
Attachment.
Fear. Fear. Due to fear. Read. You haven't read Bhagavad Gita. Not studied Bhagavad Gita. Vaivarnaya, fading of color. Color also changes. Okay. Shwet, perspiring. Romancha, hair standing on the end. Swarabhed, choking. Vepathu or Kampa, trembling. Vaivarnya fading of colors, ashru weeping, and pralay or murcha devastation. See the bhava, the transcendental mellows and the emotions of the Haridāsa Ṭhākura. Prabhu Haridāsa Matra Nritya Praveshile Shakala Siya Tara Shri Vigrahe Mile. As soon as Haridas began to dance, these symptoms would all manifest in his body. The word Shri Vigrahe is explained as follows. The body of Sri Haridāsa Ṭhākura is not a lump of blood, flesh, and skin, like that of an ordinary fruitive worker. As a result of serving the holy names, various pure aesthetic transformations would manifest in his transcendental body. The Vaishnava associates of the Lord who are inclined toward his service manifest many pure aesthetic transformations in their transcendental bodies, unlike the ordinary fruitive workers, who become averse to the cultivation of Krishna consciousness while gratifying their material bodies. Hene se ananda dhara pite sarva ange ati pashandiyo dekhe paye maharanga. Haridas' entire body became wet. Hene se ananda tha. It is not ashrudha. Its ashrus are coming out of ananda. So it is not ashrudha, it is ananda. Haridas' entire body became wet as tears of love flowed from his eyes. Even staunch atheists would offer him respect. Ati Pashandi. Ati Pashandi means those who were very, very advanced atheists. Oh, Dekhi, when they saw this form of Haridāsa Ṭhākura, Paye Mahara, they also bowed down and offered him respect. When Haridāsa Ṭhākura chanted the name of Krishna out of love, tears flowed from his eyes and his entire body would become wet. Even the most atheistic offenders who are devoid of devotional service became astonished on seeing such transcendentally ecstatic transformations. Kiba se adbhutayanga Shripulaka Bali Brahma Shiva Odekhiya Oina Koto Hali. Even when Brahma and Shiva were satisfied to see the wonderful manifestations of Haridas, they are standing on it. Puliya Gramer Yaha Brahmana Sakala Sabe Tahane Dekhi Koila Vivala. All the Brahmanas of Puliya were overwhelmed upon seeing Haridas. Upon seeing the bodily transformations of Thakur Haridas, the Puliya Brahmanas who were engaged in fruitive activities realized the uselessness of such temporary activities and became overwhelmed by seeing those waves of love. All of them developed special respect for him. Sabarata hai bada janmila vishwas Puliyae rahilena Prabhu Haridāsa. While Haridas Prabhu resided in Puliya, everyone there developed great faith in him. Ganga snana kari niravadi harina Uchcha kari laye bulena sarvasthan. Uchcha kari laya bulena sarvasthan. Haridas would regularly take bath in the Ganges and then loudly chant the name of the Lord Hari while wandering about. Kaji kiya mulakera adhipati sthane kahika tahana sakala vivaran. Okay, we'll not go into that last time. So, by mercy, we were able to see that what is the transcendental position of Srila Haridāsa Ṭhākura. What is his spiritual platform and how he is always in the aesthetic mood where he is experiencing Krishna prema. Okay. Thank you very much. If any one of you have to glorify Haridāsa Ṭhākura, You want to say, express something? Please continue. How many of you chanted more than 16 rounds today? So far? Who chanted more than 16 rounds? Please raise your hand. Oh. Ravinder and Priyanka, both of you? Ravinder Prabhu, how about you?
Yes, Prabhuji, I have chanted 20 rounds.
20. Very good. In fact, I also chanted 20. I was knowing the entire day will be very busy. So in the morning, I chanted 20 and then did something else. Please chant. You have to make special provision. You have to cut something of your material engagement. Then only it will become possible. At least for this week, we should try to dedicate and pray to Srila Haridasa. Please pray to Srila Haridasa Ṭhākura, who is Namacharya. He is the bestower of the holy names of the Lord. He is the Acharya of Nam. And he is most merciful. Namacharya Srila Haridasa Ṭhākura ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Bhagavad ki jai, Shri Vrindavan Das Ṭhākura ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Tathāya.